All right, you guys ready to look at these? Trade with the partner next to you. Yeah. Forgot about that. Go ahead and switch with the person next to you. Okay. Let's just run through these, okay? This is all about 1.4. Absolute advantage, comparative advantage, and trade. Okay? Again, I'm going to give you 5 summative points for just completing this. Okay? It's okay if you get some things wrong. Not extra credit. But, well, I mean, it's like 5 for 5 free summative points. So just for doing it. Okay? So let's go through these really quickly. Okay? For the first one, you don't really have to draw. I guess you could if you wanted. I guess I kind of figured it out first. But question number 1 asks, Cindy and Martin both sew T-shirts in a small factory. Hopefully it's in America. And hopefully Cindy and...
Okay. That just reminded me. I ordered custom Converse, and they came from Hanoi, Vietnam, and I was just thinking that's probably some...
Yeah, hopefully Cindy and Martin are over 12 years old. Using the same resources, Martin can sew 12 T-shirts, and Cindy can sew 9 T-shirts in one day. Which of the following can be concluded from the given information? Okay? I read through the answer choices for this one before I even had to create a box, because I kind of realized that you don't have to create a box if you don't need to. Okay? What did you guys get for a 1? D. Martin has absolute advantage in sewing T-shirts. Like, I literally saw that, and I just was like, oh, if you ever see absolute advantage in an answer choice, just go to that one, because then you don't have to create a box, right? If, like, that's true, then you know that that's the answer, okay? He has absolute advantage in sewing T-shirts because he can sew 12 T-shirts, and Cindy can sew 9, okay? So that one, maybe don't think too hard about some of these things, okay? Now, I will say for the next couple ones, you got to draw a box, so tough luck, okay? 2, so 1 was D. 2, both Amy and Brad produce and consume apple pie and ice cream. In 1 hour, Brad makes 5 apple pies or 10 gallons of ice cream, while Amy makes 15 apple pies or 15 gallons of ice cream. Based on the above information, one can correctly conclude that. This one, I looked at the absolute advantage one, and it's like, this one says comparative advantage in that anyway, so I know I'm going to have to make a box. Okay? So, is this an input or an output question? That is always the first thing that you have to ask. Output, why? They are making a certain amount of goods in 1 hour. They're going to try to trick you by saying, oh, in 1 hour, if you see hours, it's input. No, because they're saying in 1 hour they can make this many things. That is output of what they can create. Output is what? The other goes over. Okay? So, let's go ahead and create a chart. On all of our charts, what we have done so far is we have done the goods up here. Okay? I'm putting apple pies, AP. I could just put A. Can't really do A because, of course, Amy's name starts with an A. Okay? And then IC for ice cream. Whatever. Okay? So I'm going to do the goods at the top, and I'm going to put their names down here. Okay? That's what we've done, because then we can go vertically when we look at these things. The next question, it flips it, and it's sideways, and you have to look sideways, which is confusing. You can redo it, but I'll talk about that. Okay? So, I know that Brad can produce how many apple pies? 5. How many ice creams can he produce? 10. Okay? So I'm just filling out this chart just like we've done before. Then I have Amy. What can Amy produce? 15 of each. So 15 and 15. Now, when you look at this chart, you know that Amy has what advantage in apple pies and ice cream? Absolute. 15 is greater than 5. 15 is greater than 10. You know the absolute, but that's not a question that's not an answer choice. Okay? So I have to figure out my absolute advantage. So I'm going to do this. 1A equals. 1A equals. Okay? Remember, the other goes over. So the other 10, which, again, think about it as the other good. That will help you understand that a little bit better that I didn't help you out with last time. The other good goes over, okay? When I was messing up the next one, I wasn't putting the other good over the other one, okay? So the other good, 10 over 5 is what? 2. So 1 apple pie equals 2 ice cream. That's his opportunity cost for that case. Amy, 1a equals 15 over 15, which is 1i. So, who has comparative advantage in apple pies? Amy. 1 is less than 2. So I know that Amy has comparative advantages in apple pie. Okay? Which means she's going to want to do well. We'll think about that in a second. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So over here, I need 1i. Okay? 1i, the other goes over. 5 over 10 is 1/2. A. I need 1i. 15 over 15 is 1a. So, who has comparative advantage in ice cream? The dude. 1/2 is smaller than 1. The opportunity cost is smaller. Okay? So, what does this tell you now? Before even looking at the answer choices, who's going to do what? Amy, we just said, is going to focus on apple pies. Brad, right? Brad is going to focus on ice cream. So, what answer choice is that?
B.
B. Brad has a comparative advantage in making ice cream and will sell ice cream to Amy. Brad, in the ice cream column, is better than Amy. So, Brad is going to sell ice cream to Amy. Now, to put that in other terms, it's going to be like if this was import and export, Brad is going to export ice cream and import apple pies. Vice versa. Amy is going to export apple pies and import ice cream.
I guess that somehow got it right.
Well, you had 1/5 of a chance. Next one. This is the hard one. Okay? What do you notice with this question? Is this input or output?
Input.
Input, because it's hours of production. Okay? So, input is IOU. Okay? I owe you because I had jury duty. I don't know. Okay? What do you notice about this chart? What's different with this one? It looks differently because of what? These are flipped. So if you just looked at it and just started doing it how we normally do it, it would have messed with you a little bit. Because what I was doing is, I know I need 1 corn here. Okay? 1 corn here. Usually we just go here and we do 1 corn. But this is in the shoes column. So technically, this should be 1s equals. This should be 1 corn equals, and this should be 1s equals. Okay? I would just redraw the chart. It would just make it so much easier for you. Okay? But if you can figure it out this way, that's fine. Okay? Usually, it's just pretty easy if you can just write it on the chart. So I'll just, because of time's sake, we don't have that much time left, we'll do it like this. Okay? So I know that I'm getting to corn in this box here. Corn, Brazil, takes 2 hours of labor. Okay? So 1 corn equals, remember, this one is the other goes under. Now, it's not this number, because that's still corn. The other good goes under. So 8 goes under 2. Okay? And I just write it over these boxes, to be honest, because then it's right there for me. Okay? So, 1 corn equals 1/4 shoes, which is a weird thing. Now, I'm going to go over to here because I want to finish out corn first. Okay? So, I know 1 corn here is 4 hours for Spain, and it has to be shoes. The other goes under. So, this is 4 over 12, which is what? 1/3. Okay? Now, we are just looking at corn right here. Who has comparative advantage in corn? Yeah, which one's smaller? And I drew arrows just to make it easier for me. Okay? Now, let's go to shoes here. It's just going to be reversed, obviously, because of how this goes. Because now we're just reversing these. The other goes under, so 8/2 is 4 corn. And 12/4 is 3 corn. So, now, who has the comparative advantage in shoes? Brazil or Spain? Spain, because 3 is less than 4. Okay? And I'm drawing arrows to help myself see that. Okay? So, what answer choice is that? Brazil is going to do what? Export corn, because that's what they're good at. Spain is going to export what? Shoes. So, answer choice D. Brazil will export corn and import shoes. Okay? Last question. Let me just run through these really quickly so that way you can see what the box looks like. The last question was an easy one because you didn't have to do anything different than you've ever done before. I really wanted to look at question 3 there. I got 1m equals 3s. I got 1s equals 1/3 m. I got 1m equals 2s. And I got 1s equals 1/2 m. And because of that, they're going to do this, they're going to do this. And the answer for 4 is what? No. B. B. 4 is B. 4 is B. So with D is close, because they do have an absolute advantage in... Oh, no, never mind. D's not even close. You're wrong.
I had the correct answer before and 6, I think.
You guys can actually hold on to those just for you if you need to go back, take a picture of that one, look at that one for any reason, okay? But next class period, we're going to do 1.5 and 1.6 together. Next class period is going to be a grind, okay? But you don't have any assignment today, so you can breathe a little bit and maybe enjoy the snow tomorrow. Maybe. Hopefully. MCQ, FRQ will be on Monday and Tuesday. We have to get to that. We have to get going. I know it's going to suck because it's a Monday, but tough luck because we got to get to that MCQ and FRQ. Peace, y'all.